Hi, so today we're going to take a look at Kubernetes. It's John Williams here at MIT, and we're going to look at Kubernetes on AWS. So what we're going to do is we're going to provision what's called an EKS cluster. So this is a cluster of nodes. We're going to deploy worker nodes under the supervision of Kubernetes. We're going to then we can run our whatever apps we like that are compatible with Kubernetes. But here I just want to show you the steps we need to go through to run this. What we're going to do is set up this kind of architecture. We're going to have the Kubernetes control plane, and we're going to set up a cluster of worker nodes. And there's going to be a network load balancer, a virtual private cloud, another virtual private cloud, and a load balancer. So we're going to just take a look at setting this up. So first we need to set up our environment, and there's going to be a number of commands we need to run. The first one is this command. We need to get the AWS command line interface. So we install that. And once we've got that installed, we need to then run this. It's not that one, it's this one here. And that will then give us AWS. So here we are. We've got the version. I can run AWS version, and so here we are, and it gives us this version of the AWS CLI. Okay, so we've got that. I'm just checking which version of Python it's installed against, and then I'm making sure we don't have any upgrades needed. So that goes on for quite a while here, and we've successfully installed all of these. We need to configure AWS. Mine is already configured to access under the .aws directory. So squiggle, so that's user John or whatever it is your name is, .aws. You need to make sure you've got credentials and this config file set up. So the config file, I'm using US East, and then we've got here we may need to update brew, homebrew. So this is still all homebrew. And then finally, using brew, we get to install EKS CTL. Once we've got that installed, we can run, let me scroll back up here. We can now use EKS CTL, create cluster, and here we're providing some input. Now you can get these from here, Amazon EKS. What is an EKS cluster, etc. It gives you all the instructions that I've just gone through there. We can go back now to here, and this is actually installing our cluster. So those commands there, we're specifying 3 nodes to be built. The name is going to be prod, and then it builds them under US East 1A and 1B. And eventually it'll give us the cluster is ready. Now we can then look at the cluster. There's various things we can use. We can use a CloudTrail Manager to look at the various things that are created. We can look at the instances, and here these are the workers, the 3 workers, etc. And we can follow these instructions. And finally, we need to take the node down, and so the instruction for deleting the node, here we use delete cluster and the name -- name, and this was called prod, and so it goes ahead and deletes the cluster. So that's bringing up Kubernetes on AWS. It actually was quite smooth. It takes about 15 minutes to actually build the cluster. So good luck with that, and I'll stop there. So thanks for watching.